Hey, welcome
Hey,
to Chick Chat.
hey, Steve.
Oh, wrong way. That way. That way. Hey, welcome, you guys. We have some cool topics tonight, but we'll be right back. Hey,
Hey,
welcome back.
we're back.
We're back. So tonight we have two topics. We're talking about productivity and goal setting. If you've joined us, tell us where you've joined us from. And if you join us later, hit hashtag replay. And we thank you for joining us. And I wonder who's going to win tonight. Wonder who's going to
Only
win.
you.
Oh, there's Amy. Hey, Amy. Happy Tuesday. Amy had a cool train earlier. I saw your train. That was very cool. Hey,
Hey,
welcome.
she's mine. That's why
All
I
right.
love her.
Okay, you're winning so far. Okay, come on, Virginia or St. Louis or wherever else other
Yeah,
than Kansas
they're all
City.
over. They're all over.
Welcome. So we have some kind of cool subjects tonight. So hey, Nora, haha, I get one.
2-1, 2-1.
So fun.
Come on.
One. Welcome, you guys. So, can you believe the dates? Oh my goodness gracious.
No,
2
we're not going.
weeks. Oh, what? 2 weeks for the end of the year. 2 weeks. Can you believe it? I cannot. Oh, here. I forgot our cheers. Cheersing. Cheers. Cheers. If you have a drink, cheers to you. I have some energy drink. Can you tell?
Just what you need.
She's a little amped up tonight. It's called productivity.
Let's go. Let's go. Whatever it takes.
So that is one of our topics. Are you being productive? What does that mean? What is productivity? What are you going to do by looking backwards? I think the best gauge and measurement is by what we did in the past year. So you have 2 weeks to wind it all up and figure out what you did for 2022 before you jump into 2023. And 2023 is the best time to talk about Heather's subject matter. But let's talk about, are you being productive? What does that mean? Now, productive means something different for everybody. Let's see. I cleaned out the wine cabinet. It's all straight out. Hey, that's good.
I'm trying to empty out the wine cabinet.
But what's your productivity look like? Which area of your life are you measuring and being productive? And when do you not feel productive? Like, those are a lot of questions, right? So, are you being productive? Well, that's really up to you. Nobody else can gauge that but yourself. So you really need to look backwards and go, okay, I could have did these things. I made these goals and maybe I didn't meet them, and that's okay. You still, even though the year is ending, you still have time. You have 2 weeks left. If there's anything that you want to do. But at this time, we all get kind of crazy, right? It's the end of the year. And for some of us, we celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or, whatever we're celebrating, involves family, gift giving, all of those things. And I feel like I love the end of the year. I don't know. Do you like it, Heather?
I do. I think I like it because it's a time to reflect, like you said, on what you did this previous year and what you
Right.
want to do going forward. I think it's for me it's a time when I kind of, the end of the year with the holidays is rough for me, but if you from a standpoint of productivity and goals, it's a good time for me. I kind of start the last 90 days. So I already did like everything going into the next year and kind of what do I have time to wrap up that I didn't get to the previous year.
Right.
But for
Right.
me, it's my big thing is am I being productive? I try to look over what I've gotten accomplished for the year, and was I busy or was I actually productive? Because there's a difference.
There is a difference. That's exactly where I was going with that. Because
Yeah.
being productive sometimes could actually mean having downtime scheduled in the right way. It doesn't mean that you're always in motion. It doesn't mean you're always, striving to do something. Maybe it's just even reflecting, sitting back and going, okay, this is working. I was I used to have a job in QA, quality assurance.
Right.
And that's what we did. We were always looking to see process improvement. What is it that you could have done? Even, and I'm talking about in any area of your life. I'm not even talking if you're not a career person, that I'm not talking about there. I'm just talking about, what are your goals for the next year? Some of us, maybe we want to put in a new garden or, so that means we need to start planting stuff in March or, whatever it is that you see forward. If you don't make a plan, you're not going to meet that goal, are you? So
Right.
it's kind of like, are you being productive going towards something? Are you being productive even if it was that you exhausted yourself, you fatigued yourself this last year, and now you need to step back and go, okay, this next year, like you said, I'm going to be more productive in this time. They say they being the people that do all the statistics out there, they said that most people, not all, are most productive between 9 and 11 a.m. in the day. So you get most of your tasks done between 9 and 11. Now, like me, I would say that I'm a night owl, and I probably get more tasks accomplished near the middle of the afternoon versus the morning, just because that's who I am in my circadian, you know.
Right.
But even just sitting back and going, okay, who am I? And where am I the most productive? When do I feel the most sharp? When do I have the most energy? A lot of people like going to the gym. A lot of people go to the gym at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Not this girl.
Now this girl's sleeping. Well,
Yeah.
until January 1st, I start getting up at 4:30. Pray for me.
What? What?
Yeah.
Well, that's new. So
Yeah, that's a new goal. So
that's a goal.
pray
It's
for
a
me
goal.
because I don't usually function prior to 7:30. So we're gonna see how
Right.
this goes.
And that's another thing. Being productive is a mindset. Being productive is opening up your mindset. I'm saying I'm not a morning person, but if I had to be, I would be, because I
Right.
would have to make myself be. I would give myself that push, because that's a mindset change. That's me opening up my mindset to go, you know what? I can do this, if I put my mind to it. But I can't go to the gym. For some reason, I work out better after work versus before work. Some people love going to the gym first, taking a shower, and then they're really productive.
I'll let you
Not
know.
me.
That's what my plan is. So we're gonna find out. But I think for me, I do seem to be more productive in the morning, and so that's why I'm gonna make this change to see if I can accomplish more from 4:30, 5 o'clock a.m. because from 3 o'clock on, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then me, I'm the opposite. Like, I'm like, boom, boom, let's go, and I can stay up till 10 midnight, like I'm like, let me work on this. Let me do that, whereas other people are like, okay, I'm calling it a day after dinner, like
Right.
it's done. For me, I'm like, no, let's do more things.
So the people that are on here watching, who tell us if you're a night person or a morning person.
Yes. We'd like to know.
Yeah, we'd like to. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, because you can shift your life.
That's what I'm
You
getting
can
ready to do.
plan it, shifting your life, making something else a different outcome. Sometimes just making a little shift. So just asking yourself, are you being productive, is enough. And that's why I put it, are you being productive? That's up to you. You're the one with the measuring stick. Do you want to make more money? Morning,
Lisa's a
Lisa.
morning person. I can see that for her.
3 a.m.
That's way early, but
Whoa.
maybe I'll
Whoa.
have her start calling me at 4.
Awesome. That is awesome. I much respect. Like, much respect. So Amy, she's a night person, but she can be in the morning. All
Yeah,
right.
that's my plan. I'm going to start with me time in the morning and then
Start
kick
with
in with
me time. That's right.
with
I mean,
exercise and then get ready for work.
yeah. I mean, it's all about habit forming too, right?
Yeah, because here's the thing: I previously have been single, so all of the stuff that I did in the evening with when it was just me, I'm now focusing the evening time to somebody else. So it's like, where do you put that alone time, that me time, if you don't have an evening? So the mornings where he leaves at 4:45, 5 o'clock for work. So then that's where my me time starts.
Yeah, mindset matters. That's right.
Yep.
That's where it's at. I mean, I started waking up a half an hour earlier this even at the daylight saving time,
Right.
I was like, because I gained that that hour, I said, okay, I'm gonna now wake up earlier, and I have a prayer room, and so I go and I sit in there, and that's my time, praying, and that's my time with God, and it's really funny because it's not like I don't pray in other areas, but at the same time, I feel like, okay, this is the time I do this, between this time and this time. And I feel really selfish sometimes when I'm like, oh my God, I didn't, I was 5 minutes late. I mean, it's my own habit.
Right. You're late for
Nobody
God.
else
Oh
is.
my goodness. Don't be
Yeah.
doing that.
So
But better late than never, because that's the one thing that I've kind of gotten away from over the last couple of months, because that used to be my, evening time, and that's been taken up with something else. So it's readjusting everything and making
Right.
sure you keep the goals that you set, you keep them met.
Well, I like that. See, the reason that I think it's important that we're talking about this now, before the end of the year, is I think people just get, gym memberships go crazy through the roof at the beginning of the year. People join gyms, but how long do they stay at the gym? They say that people peter out by the
End
end
of
of.
February.
Yep.
The end of
They don't
February.
they don't stick with it. But you have to you have to make that mindset. At first I was like, "Oh no, I'm not going to be one of those January people." Then one year I said, "I can be a January person. It's fine."
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to it though. So, all right, she's going to
Getting
get
up
up
earlier,
earlier.
having me time, exercise, spend time with Yep, that's it. That's exactly what I'm doing.
That's right. That's right. And so you find that the most successful people, the entrepreneurs, are the ones that wake up earlier, and they
The
have a lot of
5 o'clock
things
club.
that they do. They are in a habit. That's all it takes. It's talking about just putting yourself in a habit of
Yeah.
of doing those things and sticking to it. That nobody's going to stand behind you and poke you and say you need to do this. The only person that's going to poke you is you. So it's really important that you write those goals down. And like, I have a book now, actually. So I have a new calendar, right, that I
Right.
write in every day. And then I have a little book that I write the date, and I write stuff in every single day now to say that I did it. And it's my own tracker. It's for me. Nobody else is ever going to look at it. It's for me. And so use the tools and the resources that works for you.
Right.
Some people can do it on the phone. I can't. I have to write it, because for me, writing down a list connects me to the task. And that's just the way I am. We're all different. Some people are kinetic, and different ways to do that. And for me, it seems like it's more like I did it if I write it.
Right. Yeah,
What
I'm the
about you?
same way. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
totally old school. I write everything. I mean, I have everything on my calendar, and everything is on my phone, but I also do, the planner and the book and all that, the journal.
Well,
All of
most millionaires out there, I've seen them. They write ideas on napkins. They
it.
have, and they're always writing. They're writing something. they connect with somebody. Oh yeah, let me connect with this and I need to make an appointment. They're always writing and they're always trying to, you know, constantly do something. Don't ever tell yourself you're too busy. Like don't tell yourself that you don't have the time, because
Right,
if you
because
tell
we all
yourself
have the
that,
same
then you
time.
don't. Right.
Yeah. Everyone has the same 24 hours a day. It's what
Yep.
you do with it that matters.
That's right. That's right. So, so that going back to productivity, when are you the most productive? What are the things that you can do? What resources do you need to tap into to make you productive? And whatever that means, like maybe setting out your gym clothes the night before with everything right there. So in the morning, you can't give yourself an excuse is that you can't find this, you can't do, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever it is that's going to make you the most successful in that. And like I said, even downtime can be productive. Like they say that if you over exercise, like that's actually counterproductive, for weight loss and things like that. Because if you overdo it and you don't eat enough calories, I mean, your body goes into a tailspin. I mean, there's all these things that you need to, make sure that you're doing it in a proper fashion, and like I said, if you tell yourself you're too busy, you're too busy.
Yep.
So that's what I wanted to cover in our productivity discussion. But your subject lends right into that as well. Yep, you put your work cloud. Yeah. And
Well,
the
and I
most,
think, it's also making things that, like you said, make things the easiest for you. Like I just canceled my gym membership because I'm now 45 minutes away from the closest gym. But now it's setting up a gym here at the house so that I can just, tootle my little self right in there and make it happen. But it's, making it, the chances of me driving 45 minutes in the morning to go to the gym is just not going to happen.
you're
So
not going to do
why,
it.
why even fool myself?
That's right. That's right. I mean, if it's something that that there's some great obstacles like that, like a time constraint or location, I mean, that makes sense to change something up. But my question to you then, are you going to write down what your workout's going to be and what time it's going to start, what time it's going to end? How are you going to do that?
It'll just, I have my workouts on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I have certain things that I do certain days of the week. So it's basically, I'm not going to have the same equipment necessarily that I had at the gym, obviously. But now it's figuring out how to get the same benefit from what I do have. I do have my punching bag, so I'm going to be, heavy bag will be out there. So that's something I can get my cardio in. So it's tweaking all that but still keeping at it instead of just saying, well, there's no gym around. I guess I'm just not going to work out.
Right.
That's not productive.
Well, in our modern time, we have so many tools that we can use. Like you can set an alarm on your phone. You can set an alarm on Alexa to tell you to work out, right? Yep. So your Alexa, you can say, set my alarm for this, tell me to work out. And Alexa will tell you.
She just answered you.
Did she? So, I mean, use the modern technology to your benefit, whatever it is that's going to kick you in the butt to do it. Like me, because I work from home sometime, I used to plan out my meals and my gym time and all that. But now that I work from home, it's actually more difficult. Like I slack. Like I see myself slacking as far as like at lunchtime. If I had pre-made my lunch, then I'm going to stick to it. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's just like any weight loss plan, any, gym, physical fitness, you have to stick to the plan, but same with your business, same with your personal goals. What if you want a new career? What if like we used to say, and I don't believe it now. I used to say, fake it till you make it, but really you can't fake it. Like mm-hmm. you've just got to make it happen. If you want the next level up of career, like they say, dress for success, dress for that next position, whatever it is that's going to inspire you and motivate you to do it is key. I've been saying all year long that I wanted to do another live stream show that I had, prior to this one, right? And I finally, last couple weeks of this year, said, okay, it's time. So
Yep.
I scheduled the person and I'm doing it. So, so that I will come out in the beginning of the year going, okay, now it's time to make it a habit. Now it's time for me to schedule it every week and make this happen. Stop talking about it and do it.
Yeah, because
Just
the reality is it's the same whether it's business, exercise. The more reps you do, the more outcome there is. Like it doesn't just happen. So you have to, you have to put in the work for anything, and that goes back to what I said earlier about for people that weren't on here. Are you being productive or are you being busy? Because I used to be the queen of being busy. I'd be worked all day, going, and at the end of the day, I'm like, what did I do today?
right.
Because none of it was productive.
Right.
I sit on the couch and plop down at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. But I didn't really do anything.
Well, what about the people like me? I have SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Like if it starts to get dark too early, I start to find myself wanting to go to bed earlier. And I find even though I'm a night person, right? And then I lay in the bed and then I toss and turn and and it doesn't work for me really. But, what's going to help me? So I have to reach out to those resources that I have. And also, people go through depression, there's they don't feel productive. What I like about that, there are people that feel like they're not being a productive person, but sometimes even just for them, instead of putting their makeup on and going somewhere, it's just washing their face like before they go to bed, or, doing one thing instead of doing all their dishes, they do one dish. There are certain things, I know in depression, that just doing one small task, celebrate that, you did it, and that's the thing. Again, nobody else is going to be the measurer and the gauge except for you. I mean, it falls all back onto us. We all think, oh, that person's got it together. It's because they're pushing themselves. They're the ones making it happen. Nobody else is making them wake up, eat their breakfast, and stressing them at this age. I don't think. Right. How we have that thought in our head, like, well, if I had, all the money and I had the butler and the maid and the this and the that, I have met people that have that and they still have to make themselves do a lot of things, actually.
I've been amazed over the last 10 years of owning a cleaning company, how many people hire me because they just don't have time to clean. But then the whole time we're there for 5-6 hours cleaning, they're on Facebook. They're watching Desperate Housewives. They're watching a movie up in the theater room. They're like, which again, no judgment on my part. That's why we're here. I'm glad to take a job.
Did you say Desperate Housewives?
Whatever it is. Whatever that show is.
The Real Housewives. But I call yeah.
Wasn't there a show at night though called Desperate Housewives? Like a dynasty type show?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
The Real Housewives somewhere.
They're watching something in their theater room. But again, that's on them. If they're okay with that, I guess, keep telling yourself you don't have time. But the reality is, I see so many, and I say women because that's who I associate with the most, that have worn themselves out and they're doing nothing. They're just constantly, in that hamster wheel, but they're not accomplishing anything throughout the day.
Yep.
This is always working.
That's right. I mean, what I think of, somebody asks me what I've done today and I go, oh, I did this, I did that. It's just really your personality type too. I mean, it comes down to that as well. You cannot conform yourself into a different personality type. You can try to strive to do different things differently. And it is a mindset. You can do it. But if your personality type is kind of a lower energy, you need to make the list, with 3 tasks, where me with my ADD, I got to make a list with 10 or else I'm bored, like so I'm
Right.
like, okay,
But
okay, get it.
if you make a list of 10, do you get all 10 done, or do you go back and forth all around the place? Like, get a little bit of the first one done, then jump down to the third one, then jump down to the sixth one. Like,
Well, I have a couple jobs that are not predictable. So yes, I have to jump around because it's not predictable. If I had a predictable everyday same thing, I think I could do that. But no, I jump around in my tasks. And
yeah,
and but that it still works for me. I mean, it just because and sometimes I don't get all 10 of them done. So and then I carried it over to the next day,
yeah,
and then I count if I'm making a list, that is. I don't make a list every day either. It's just whatever works for you. Nobody else is sitting with a, watching you going, okay, they're, the most successful people I've seen though do keep a routine, and they do the same things. They
mhm,
they have a habit of things that they do.
yep,
I think you give yourself leeway in those tasks, like writing a list. Well, do you get them all done? Sometimes you don't.
right.
Sometimes, but you have to give yourself a break on that. If I sit there and go, oh, I didn't get all those things done, how productive am I going to be the next day?
And see,
If
I
I
have a running Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday little notepad thingy, and I write on there what the goal for each day is. Whatever Monday doesn't get done, it rolls down. But my thing is, I just try to make sure they're all done by Friday.
Okay, there you go. Right.
So
So you
whatever
give
works.
yourself a goal. So
Yeah,
yeah, let's move into your topic then. That's your goal setting.
goal
So
setting.
goal setting.
So for goal setting for me. So I try to have, and I wrote them down just so I wouldn't forget everything off the top of my head, but like 6 basic categories, I guess, going into the next year. So health, relationships, career, personal growth, spirituality, and adventure slash creativity. So I try to figure out something in all of those throughout the year. I'm not going to get all that done every month, obviously, but something throughout the year that I want to work on, and then I break that down into 3 of each, thing that I want to do throughout the year, and then just kind of go down. And like you said, you can use your phone, you can use a calendar. There's apps, however, whatever works for however
Right.
your mind works. But basically, it's going through and being as specific as I can as to what I want to change going forward. Like we talked about, getting up earlier now than I used to, and what I did in the past that didn't work. So what did I do in 2022 that didn't work for me? Wasn't
Right.
serving me. That goes away, and how can I
Right.
replace that? And that's kind of how I go through to set mine up for the following year. Um, I even have, weekly, monthly, yearly, 5-year, 10-year. They don't
Very
always
good.
pan out that way. And usually
Hmm.
by the time I get to 10-year, it's completely different. I mean, my whole life changed in the last 60 days, let's be honest. So I just, was kind of going with it. But on the other hand, I'm always trying to have, if you don't have a destination, you can't get there.
Right.
So for me, it's like, where do I want to be at the end of this, 2023?
Hmm.
And how am I going to get there? So that's kind of how I break it down for myself.
Well, you know who Brian Tracy is?
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Tracy is a speaker, and he said that if you write down 10 things every day for 21 days, the same 10 things, like those things that you want to accomplish, it does something in your brain. It actually changes the grooves in your brain, and it helps you to accomplish it, right?
I did that with my person. I had a
There you go.
list. I prayed over it every day for the last, almost every day for the last 1 to 2 years. And, some people call it manifestation. I don't know what you want to call it, what the term is, but I do believe that you put it out there for it to come. And basically that's
Right.
what happened. So I'm a believer at this point.
Yeah, there you go.
me and my 25 items, I'm a believer.
Right. Right. And he said, whatever, 10, 20. I mean, whatever it is that, I mean, how many goals you got, I
Yeah.
mean, I wrote down at the beginning of the year these things, and I kept writing it down, kept writing it down. Now I only got half of those things so far, but hey, then that means I need to sit down and do the other half, right?
Well, it doesn't mean they're not coming. The time's just not right yet.
That's right. That's
And
right.
like I said, 2
Don't
years.
give up.
Yeah, I prayed over my list for 2 years. And that could be a person, that could be a house, that could be, a car, whatever.
Yep.
As long as I think Rachel Hollis talks about, she basically that's how she became who she is, because she got up every morning and wrote as it had already happened the things that she wanted to do, and now they've all come true. So
yeah. Yes. There we go, Lisa. Power of the 3.
Yep.
30 is to determine there are 3 things I have to execute on today. That's a great idea. That's great.
Lisa's
Power
very
of the 3.
smart. She's a very
Yes.
smart lady.
Yes.
She has impacted a lot of people. So
That's
maybe we
awesome.
should have her as a guest someday, because
That's awesome.
was. I wouldn't be where I was without her.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I think the power 3. Whatever. There's a billion different
There's so many. Yes.
things out there, depending on who you listen. Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, like whoever you listen to. Everybody has something. It's
right. And it's
you.
whoever resonates with you. Again, we are so unique. We're all wired so differently. So I feel like we always do ourselves a disservice in our goal setting if we're making our goals somebody else's. If you're not making your goals your own, how successful are you going to be? Right? So,
right.
Yep. See, you did it on your own. See, there you go. I mean, your goals and my goals are different because we're different people. We want different things. We're going to work on different things a different way, even, and I think people do themselves a disservice in comparing. I mean, the comparing thing is, I think, where it stops us. Like, oh, look at them. They're out there doing this. And here I am. I've been working on this and I haven't got there yet. Keep going. Keep doing it.
Yep.
Don't stop.
Yeah, because how long did it take us to do? How long how long did it take me to get on this show?
Long time.
Like
long time.
Years.
I kept telling her, but she didn't believe me. I was like, come on.
Yeah,
she didn't believe me.
It's just figuring out when the time is right, you'll do it. And we can give ourselves 1,000 excuses, but again, if it's a goal, you have to make it happen.
That's right. That's right. It's not up to anyone else. Mel Robbins, that's what she says. Nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to make you, run that marathon. Nobody's going to make you get up every day to train to run that marathon. Nobody, if that's your goal. What's really cool is when you take yourself, this is something to challenge you for the New Year's. Like, make a new goal, something that out of your comfort zone, because sometimes when you step out of your comfort zone, it's amazing how much it expands you, and so that's what you did with this. You stepped out of your comfort zone. You kept saying, no, I can do a podcast, but I ain't giving on the video.
Well, it took me 3 years to do the podcast too, let's be honest. But here's the thing. It's when I started stepping out of my box and getting out of my comfort zone, I have done so much in the last year, co-authored a book, podcast, this show, like speaking on stage, all of that stuff. But you can't do it stuck being safe. If it scares you, it's something you need to do.
That's right. If it scares the out of you.
Right, exactly. This is the best year of my life. All that matters now is how do I make the next one better? Exactly.
That's right. That's what I was saying about being productive. Yeah. Do your process improvement. Look backwards on, what worked, what didn't.
Heather, you're a rock star. Thank you, girl.
That's nice. You are a rock star. So, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's we could get off on a whole nother topic, a whole nother show of just.
It's a whole nother show.
Getting in your own way. Like, get out of your own way. That's what I would tell anybody.
That's
going into this next year. We're the last 2 weeks of December. Get out of your way. Whatever your dream is, dream big and get out of your own way.
Kick it down. Kick the walls down. Kick the door down. Whatever. That's what I say. What am I going to, and I did start thinking of that. Was I productive this year? Yeah. Yeah, I was actually.
I was not. I was, my business was failing. My relationships, I just wasn't going to have one. I just wasn't.
except for the last.
Productive in any of this, accomplishing so much personally, so much growth that I guess I was productive, just not with what I planned on being productive beginning of the year.
Right. But celebrate those small victories that you had.
100%, yes. I've been,
you stepped out of your comfort zone a lot this last year. So you saying that you weren't is so wrong.
Well, I wasn't productive in the sense of the business plans that I had, but personally, I went way beyond.
Right. So there's your measuring stick, not anybody else's. From the outside, it looked like that you conquered some things and kicked some butt.
I definitely did. So. I think I just thought my business would be a different place by the end of the year. That's all right. Wasn't meant to be. Now what's next?
That's right. Yep. So. What's next? That's right.
Don't know.
I mean, we got two weeks. So if you're still on here, what is one thing that you can look back at and say, yeah, I didn't think I was going to accomplish that. And what's one thing that you're going forward in for the new year that you want to do? So list 2 things: what you did, what you're going to do. I'd like to see, like to hear.
Lisa said that she thinks I'm an overachiever. I love her. She just makes me feel so good. Thank you.
There you go. I agree with her.
I think I wasn't necessarily in the wrong business when I started, but a decade later, I definitely am.
Sometimes you outgrow stuff, right? Yep.
So what are yours? What are your 2 things?
Mine?
Yep.
Okay. So the thing that I did, and I mean, I definitely have increased on both my businesses, my coaching and my consulting, and really kind of put it out there and really just said, okay, I'm doing this. So
don't mind the lights going off.
Yeah. I was like, what was that? So yeah. So I actually increased my profits on both of those. And so that made me very happy. And then going forward though, I want to do more. I want to expand one of the businesses even more, and I want to hire people. So I want to hire somebody to come and help me to be even more successful. So that's my goal already. Like I can see it. I have a dollar sign on it even. Like I'm making a dollar sign goal. And so that's going to help me to strive for that, because before I just kind of kept it open-ended, and I shouldn't have. That's what I looked back in the back and said, I should have made a dollar amount goal versus just I want to be more successful. Right. So those are the 2 things.
Lisa said she made time for her in 2022. I think I did that for sure too. One thing I did in 2022, I mean, there's a lot personal growth wise. Like I said, the book, the speaking, the meeting my person. What do I want to work on for 2023? I want to work more on my goals being about feelings, how things make me feel versus a monetary amount. That's kind of how my list was for my person. It wasn't like the qualities they had necessarily as to how they made me feel, how I wanted to feel with the person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to work more on helping more people through my business going forward in 2023.
That's good. So yeah, she took her dream trip. Oh, the International Balloon Fest. How cool is that?
Oh, she fell in love with the man who showed her what love is.
Ooh, all right. That's awesome.
I need to message her. I turned my career around and made my job my dream job. That truly the best. Girl.
Awesome. Truly the best year of her life. See? So there you go.
Isn't it funny how men will be part of that?
Love that.
What's the phrase? A man needs is a good woman. I think it goes both ways.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm with you going forward for 2023. I want to help more people.
Yep.
I want to be a light to more people, and I want to show them, different things on how to have peace. My thing is I really want to show people how to have peace through anything, It's like he's a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's a goal of mine eventually.
Well,
Is
I
to
think
have I don't have that as a goal right now because I had to do a lot of soul searching on that myself, like that I can look back in that area and go, yeah, I wasn't ready yet,
yep.
and maybe, and I have no idea if I will be this year either.
Well,
So
and
who
I
knows?
wasn't ready for quite a while. I mean, I didn't date for quite a while, 3 years, pretty much.
Yeah,
So you'll know when the time is right and when the timing is
right.
all perfect and everything is in space, then he'll find you.
There you go. There you
And he'll bang on the wall putting up Christmas lights while you're on your show. Yes, a long time very happy. I mean, that's where I was. I was happy alone, and if I prayed for my person, but if I never found him, I was okay with that.
Well, right. That's where it comes down to is you being okay with you if they did or they didn't,
Yeah,
or if you, like I said, if you didn't make that goal, you know try again. There's
yep,
try again.
yeah,
Learn to love yourself. That's right. You have to love yourself before you can find that love, because
absolutely.
if you don't, I mean,
Then you,
I always say that there needs to be two wholes, not two halves. Like, I think two wholes work way better than two halves.
yep.
you know, um,
I've always had two halves, and now I have two holes, and that's the difference.
that it totally makes a difference. I want an addition, not a subtraction. I want, you know, all of those things, right? So even if that person was a whole and I was kind of a whole, that doesn't mean it goes together sometimes either, you
Right.
know. Um, yep, that's right.
So far, so good.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you can be happy with yourself and happy with, you know, situations, you're just going to be a happier person all around anyway, you
Yep.
know. I'm not happy with some things decisions wise or whatever sometimes, but I'm not going to let it keep me back and hold me down. And, it was a I always look at it, it's a learning experience then. Instead of a failure, I look at things, yeah, maybe that failed, but it's not a total failure because I learned something, you
Right.
know. I learned who I was a little bit more,
Well, the funny thing for me when I was talking about making the list of, my person or whatever, the funny thing is I used all of my guy friends and my female friends, and I picked the thing I resonated so much with and put that into my person. So you have to first know what those relationships look like before you can have your person.
Yeah. If that's your goal, maybe you don't want a person.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think I disagree. I think we were all created to be with the person. It's a matter of how much work you're willing to do to get there. But that's just my opinion.
Some of us want a labradoodle. Okay, I'm just saying.
Well, some of us want to get rid of a labradoodle, a labra a pitolabber. No, I think that I think that fills that void for a little bit, and I do think that you can be happy alone for a
You
period
can.
of time. I just don't know that it's forever.
Maybe not forever. Yep. Oh, bam. Okay.
He said, "I agree," and shut the door.
Okay. I agree.
He's
There
putting
we
up
go.
Christmas lights on the front of the house. So.
So if you're still on here, say hello if you've not said hello yet, because I know there's some people
besides
watching.
Lisa is on here.
There's some people watching that didn't say hello, and we'd like to say hello to you. So what do you guys think of that? If you're being a little peeper silent out there, we want to hear what you have to say.
Stalker, speak up.
Especially if you're of the male category, we'd like to hear your input.
We'd like to hear our dudes.
Yeah.
Comment.
Exactly. This is not just about chicks, man. Goal setting and productivity has nothing, it's definitely not a chick type of thing, right? We all got those. We all got goals. We all got productivity issues, Guys do it a lot more simpler, maybe sometimes. I mean, I have to admit, sometimes they're I think sometimes the difference between male and female, sometimes there is a difference. There is.
Oh, absolutely, there's a difference. But I think I think there's as many differences between different men as there are different women, though.
Absolutely. Nothing is perfect. Mindset matters.
I mean, obviously, you and I have had bad ones. We've had good ones. So, like, okay, I've had a good one, but
that's right.
It's there's differences in all of everybody. So
right. Well, and that's where goals, and if we're talking about relationships, your goals have to match each other.
Yep.
What you want in a relationship. You can't have different, different goals and different energy levels. You can't have that either, Well,
I think and I don't think that's what you meant. I think you can, but the thing is when one's down, the other one's up. Like you can't move together. You have to have that constant kind of.
That's right. It has to be, a balance.
But your goals have to be pretty much aligned if you're going to be together to that extent. If you're just dating, they don't so much, I guess, if you don't ever intend to be anything more than dating. But when you want to, when you're talking about a future, you have to have the same thought process on your goals.
That's right. And like us, our goal is to have the Chiefs win and go to the Super Bowl, right?
Baby.
That's our next goal. Just saying. Not just our goal. It's probably the team's goal.
My next goal is to get my house cleaned out and get everything moved in here and be done. Then we'll go to the Super Bowl.
Go to the Super Bowl, Chiefs. Anyway.
Yep.
But I mean, we all have our different goals, right? So,
yeah.
I would like this next year, and I haven't thought about what it is yet, but I'd like to learn something new. I want to learn a new hobby or something.
Yep, that goes over.
Maybe learn how to play an instrument, or, have a new dance class, or, something creative, because I have that part of my personality. And that's the other piece, is just knowing who you are and how you're made up. What enlivens you? What makes you tick? What makes you, your energy, get happy,
Remember 5 years ago when I didn't know my favorite color? Or what my favorite food was? Man,
I do remember. And you didn't want to drive 20 miles downtown. Yes.
Oh my God. Now I live in the boonies. 45 minutes.
She didn't want to move. She didn't want to drive 20 minutes downtown because it was too far out of her zone.
Too far.
It was too far out of her comfort zone. And so there you go.
Now I'm in a county.
Yeah. And then later on, she was driving downtown all the time. So there you go. She jumped out of her comfort zone. Sometimes that's what it takes for us to reach our goals. Sometimes we just have to get uncomfortable.
Yep.
What's going to make you tick this year? So I'm excited about 2023.
I'm super excited about 2023.
I mean, and it's only because it's another opportunity to say, okay, this next year, woo, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I feel like it's going to be a very exciting. Well, I have a feeling that anyone that follows me will have a really good idea at the end of December what's going to happen for me in 2023.
Awesome.
We'll leave it with that.
Ooh. Cliffhanger, everyone. Cliffhanger. We're hanging. Just hanging around. So, yeah. So anything else you want to cover on goal setting?
I mean, just make sure when you set the goals that you have to know your why. Because without a why, it's not like it's going to happen. And make sure you're setting goals that are in your control. Like, don't set things that you have no control over.
Yeah.
I'm going to win the lottery. Well, probably not. And you really have no control with that. So let's not use that one. That could be a bonus.
You mean I can't think that into being?
I mean, you could try to manifest that, but I feel like lots of people have probably done that and not been successful. But I think that, like I said, I would go back to, the topic, like the categories that I gave you: health, relationships, career, personal growth, spirituality. Pick whichever ones are the most important to you. You don't have to use mine. Right. And then, start brainstorming on each one of those and pick 3 things of each category that you want to change in the next year.
That's right. That's right. And speaking of that, and both of our subject matters, what works really well, and I know you will agree, is a vision board, is creating a vision board. I mean, nothing says meeting your goals like a vision board, like putting it down and really, I mean, if you have that poster there, I mean, it's a reminder, right? So, I mean, I like vision boards because they're not like, they just kind of they're like your want list, they're your want list instead
Yeah.
of your need list. They're your want list. And it's amazing how when you do that and you keep looking at that and you say, I'm gonna get that, whatever that is.
And that's how I got my gun. That's how I got my new car. That's like, all of it was on my board.
Yep.
I think Lisa wants to be our guest next week and talk about the power of why.
Ooh.
Actually,
Yes.
are we gonna have a show next week, or are we
Step one
going
in making true change. That's
to
right.
skip because of Christmas?
Well, I mean, next week. Oh yeah, it is Christmas week. We probably should skip, but let's not skip the following week.
We'll do the following week.
So yeah, next week will be MIA, but the following week on the 27th, we should have a show.
Lisa,
so that
if you would like to be a guest on that show, message me and we'll work out the details and we'll talk about
the power
of why. I mean, I would just love to have Lisa on just because knowing her story and what she's done for so many people, she'd be a great guest. But we can
the power of why is going to carry us into the new year. So I mean, that's absolutely what we would have talked about is,
then we should have Jim on since he keeps walking into the
Sorry.
We should have him on, right?
Yeah, we'll have him on one of these days.
Okay. If he wants to be on camera, even though he's just been on camera like 6 times or so. So he has no excuse now.
Yeah, we'll have him on one of these days.
Tell some jokes.
No, you cannot tell jokes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I heard a clean one today.
I asked you for a joke the last time, and he didn't.
He finally came up.
Hold up. No, I can't.
He's trying to come up. He heard a clean one today. He's trying to come up with it, but he's forgotten. But yes, we will. I would love to have Lisa on. I would love to.
Lisa.
I have a couple of ideas going forward for my podcast that would actually work for this show as well. So maybe you and I'll talk about that off camera.
Right. And if any of you want to talk about something that you're just like, you have to share the message, please contact us. We'd love to have you on, because I mean, we definitely would love to. That's right. That's right. Somebody needs to hear your story. I think that people discount their stories sometimes. They belittle their stories. They go, well, wow, that person really has a major story. Mine's kind of like, but no, somebody needs to hear it. Somebody needs you to share it, because then they can relate. So, please do. Oh, nice little flower.
It's a 100.
Oh, is it? It looks okay. I can't see. It looks like a flower. Sorry, 100%. Sorry.
I think it's clean.
What?
He texted me the joke. We're going to see if it's clean.
Okay, we're leaving on a high note.
I haven't got it yet, so I don't know. Just keep talking.
She's like, thumbs up. Okay, sorry. I didn't see the 100%. Sorry, Lisa. So yeah, we hope that you definitely come on and talk about the power of the why. That's awesome.
Are you sure you sent it to me? Oh, there it is.
Oh, goodness.
Why doesn't 007 fart in bed?
I have no idea.
It might blow his cover.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Now do you see why I love it?
That was funny though. It was funny. It was clean and funny. Good job. Yay.
Good job.
Good job. Good job.
Bye, Lisa.
Thank you guys. Lisa, thank you for interacting with us. And all of you that did, Amy, Nora, we appreciate you all. Most definitely. Oh, we didn't have your cousin from New Zealand come on tonight. What?
He might have been on there. He was just being quiet because we picked on him so much last week.
Oh no, we didn't mean to pick on you. So you guys, thank you. Oh, she put on a bunch of emojis. She's an emoji girl.
Very creative.
So, all right. Thank you guys. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. And we hope that we gave you some pointers on how to feel productive and also on going forward and making your goals. So we will see you. Huh?
I wish people would say stuff instead of just give us hearts, because there was a couple of Jerry's people that popped on, didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
That's okay. All right, you guys. Again, we're not going to have a show next week because it is Christmas week. And so we hope that you have a wonderful holiday. And we appreciate you guys joining us weekly. So we hope that we see you the last week, which would be December the 27th. We will see you then.
Merry
So
Christmas.
you all take care. Merry Christmas. Peace out.